stated, we'll start our 1 hour question, and it's approximately 7:55 in the evening. Please state your name and address clearly, and also please state your question. And we ask you to please refrain from lengthy comments. When you state your question, we ask that you only state one question. So who would like to ask the first question? Don't all come? Yes.
Mike Evanson, I live on Morrissey Road here, Rucker Hills. I'm concerned about property taxes. I was wondering if the challengers have any good, solid ideas for lowering Neptune's property taxes, and then the incumbents, if they wanted to state anything they've done over the last 3 years to help the property taxes.
We'll give them 2 minutes.
Sure. I'm going to try it without the microphone, if that's okay with everybody. Can you hear me? Okay. Property taxes are the bane of our society in general. Certainly here at the municipal level, we see taxes going up on a consistent basis. We see them going up at the county level. We see them going up at the state level. Taxes aren't going to go away. I think we all realize that, because we all are beneficiaries of services that we receive within the community. Police services, DPW services, there are other administrative, social services, senior services that all happen within the community. What we need to do is stabilize and mitigate cost increases. In my experiences in running a business, we need to be able to hold the line on pricing, hold the line on costs. We've been discussing an 11.2% increase in spending in the new budget. Now, it'll be said that, well, you know, we get money coming in to offset this and offset that. Well, that's great. $2.6 million is coming in and going out for balanced housing. We sold a property on Ridge Avenue for $2.2 million. That went into the revenue side of the ledger. I don't see a real big expenditure on the other side. We have $1 million going to pay BAN, but aside from that, we have revenue coming in and we have dollars going out. We need to control spending. Healthcare costs on our current budget went up 11%. Salaries went up 5%. Other operating expenses went up 18%. Where's the check and balance? What we're advocating is, with a 5-0 committee, do we really have a check and balance? It will be argued, yes we do. We don't always agree. I tend to believe that we need another voice on the committee that's going to be looking out for our interests when it comes to spending those dollars. Thank you.
Well, Lou certainly said that quite right. What we do need here is we need a checks and balance. Having one party as your decision maker is absolutely wrong. I remember, because I was in Trenton in June, it actually rolled over to July of 2006, when the state budget was being put in place for the fiscal year 2006, which started July 1st. And at that time in New Jersey, a sales tax increase went into effect, and the Democratic-controlled legislature and governor at that time promised that that sales tax increase would be used to offset the property rebates. Well, guess what? Here we are now in the greatest recession that this country has experienced since 1929, and many of us are not getting property tax rebates this year because Trenton's spending is out of control. So the point being is, Lou said it very well, we do need to, at this point, sustain the property tax increases, but we have to look to Trenton for that guidance, because it is a twofold process. We can't mitigate all the spending right here in Neptune Township, but we certainly can try to contain it. What we need to look at is we need to look at consolidation. We have to look at all kinds of ideas. Look at public works, look at our court system, look at our dispatch system. I even throw it out there, let's take a look at our schools and see if there isn't an opportunity to regionalize our schools, the most beautiful schools in New Jersey, and use that as a way to sustain our current property taxes. I see my card is up, so thank you very much.
Okay. Taxes is when I first ran for office, I ran on controlling taxes. And shortly after, when I saw the next campaign and the next campaign, that seems to be the topic of every campaign: control taxes, reduce taxes, and every candidate promises a lot of things. And the proof of the pudding is what do you deliver when you get it. Cutting services, we've looked at services. This is a full-service community, and everyone is proud of the service they receive. We've looked at cutting different things. We have cut every department, and what we recognize that over the past 9 years, taxes have been going up and down over median level, not much in one way or the other way through both administrations. And it looks like, to me, during that time, that the best thing we can do is to bring in revenue. If you can't reduce the taxes or control them as well as you'd like without cutting vital services, then you have to raise revenue. And that approach was taken 2 administrations ago, followed up by the last administration, and followed up by this one: bring in revenue in the township. My whole thing in every department that I've been chairman of or involved in has been reducing spending. And I'll get into that at some later time, but if you look at the administration before this administration, the average tax the average household tax was $142.93. In the last 3 years, the tax to the average household is $84.80. So I think that we've been doing a credible job in controlling taxes. Spending, we can always reduce that. It was said that there's balanced housing grant that we got. Yes. If you take that out of the formula, the spending increase is 1%. So I think we've done a credible job, and we want to continue doing that for Neptune Township.
You know, in the last 18 months, every municipality in New Jersey has experienced the perfect storm of 2 horrible things. First of all, we've had the economic crisis, which through some of the weird machinations of the stock market, threw a lot of prices up really high in terms of fuel oil, health insurance, things like that. But what it also did when everything crashed was take our investment income from our surplus down into the 1.2% range. Now, when we invest our surplus, usually you get a rate of anywhere we were getting between 3 and 4%, and that's how you keep generating surplus, and it keeps taking the edge off taxes. Okay, we don't have that anymore. Now, you say 2% of a however many $1 million budget. How much can that mean? It can mean as much as 2 to 3 cents a household. Okay, so we've had that problem going on, and that's not something you can fix just by switching banks, because just about everybody's within a half cent of each other. Now, in terms of taxes going up, we are also hampered by the New Jersey State Constitution. Low-tax states have the ability to insert in a municipality or a county a more progressive tax in the form of a sales tax or a head count income tax or something like that for that municipality to raise more revenue and take the pressure off the property tax owner. We in New Jersey do not have that ability. We have to rely on property taxes. So this is where the tax, being able to sustain what our tax rate is while trying to maintain the full services that we have, becomes very difficult, because we don't want to end up like Flint, Michigan, with everybody outsourcing everything and paying 9,000 bills and more than what they would have if those property services ever remained within their taxes. And that's what we're working toward.